Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How's it going?
Good, good. How's your week been?
Hello, hello. Time to do our traditional audio testing while I
Yeah.
think about what to talk about for the week.
Welcome, Jeremy. Thank you for joining us once again.
Yep. Hello, Jeremy. How's it going?
I think our
All
audio
right,
is good.
cool. I think our audio is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So, oh yeah, I guess we should do our week debrief.
Hey, Will. Hey,
Hello.
hello, hello. This is live. Yes. Hey, Jay Tiger. How's it going? Yeah, we're doing it live.
Yep.
We're
No.
gonna show you how the magic gets made.
How the sausage gets made.
No, no, no. No one wants to see how the sausage is made.
This is the stream where it happens. Okay, a billion Hamilton references, approximately.
Let's see how many you can pack into
To the next
to
hour.
one. Yeah, next hour.
Mm. All right, so yeah, I guess. How was your week? Anything interesting happen, Eric?
Um, nope, nothing interesting happened.
Okay, nice. Um,
Yeah,
I
just
lost.
on holding pattern
All right, fair
until
enough.
Elden Ring DLC comes out. Um,
That's fair.
what about you?
I lost 2 days of my life to Modern Horizons 3 pre-releases for
Rough.
since I act as a TO and judge for my LGS for those. Um, so, um, yeah, I'll never get those back, but I did open like good cards, so that's sweet.
Do you want to show them off?
Oh, I can show them off. I've got a pile of them in front of me. Okay. So let's see. I'll show off,
What's
I
the point of
guess.
opening amazing cards if you can't brag about how skilled you are at opening packs?
So true. All right, here we go. Here's I guess
Hmm.
the three that are top picks that I haven't traded into my LGS yet. There's another one in the other room, but I guess let's see. Let's go from worst to best. So I think current worst is this one, which is a the full art foil. It's actually got some texture to it on the back, which is nice. Like there's like some texture in the art of Ral Monsoon
Hmm.
Sage. This was a $5 card, or rather, the normal version of this card was $5. But then it turned out to be part of a turn two kill in modern. so
Of course,
so
as it
modern in
goes.
a healthy place after Modern Horizons
Hmm.
3 launch. So of course that's
I am
great.
shocked.
Um, and then we've got a Ugin's Binding, the alt art.
Yeah, and also
Um,
I swear we're gonna do some Genesis stuff after this, but
yes. I mean, yeah, but you got
yeah,
to show off all TCG content. So Ugin's
yeah, I know it's
Binding,
fancy. Ooh, wow, foil.
ooh,
Ooh.
foil, yeah, alt art again. And then I think this is the most expensive card in the set, and it's in foil, which is Ugin's
Hmm.
Labyrinth, because as we all know, lands that tap for 2 mana are healthy and
Fair and
fun
balanced.
and fair and balanced in Magic.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so that happened. Um, and then I also
All
got
right.
like there's an Ulamog in the other
Hmm.
room, just somewhere over
Yeah.
there.
Hey,
uh,
Damien, how's it going? No problem. Yeah, I hate going to Eork too. Sucks. Um,
um, that's okay. All you missed was not being able to see some magic cards, which
yeah,
this is a
no one cares
Genesis.
about that.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
Genesis stream, so that's fine. And then
Hmm.
yeah, had an early hangout with my family for birthday, which I
Yeah.
guess for OPSEC I will not say what day my birthday is. I don't
Oh
know.
wow, I was literally just about to say it. All right, I won't say it then.
Yeah, but it's coming up this week.
And we won't all chip in or buy you a present.
That's fine. I appreciate the thought.
Um,
It's a thought that
I mean,
counts.
we weren't going to anyway, but now we really won't.
Now you really went sweet. Oh, whoops, that's early.
Yeah. So I guess what are we gonna do today? What's the idea?
What we're thinking is people may not know that there's this awesome workshop on TTS if you have it, which is like it's regularly $10 to $15 on sale.
That's Tabletop Simulator for those that don't know. You
Yes,
can
on
buy it on Steam.
Tabletop Simulator. Yes.
Yeah.
Called Genesis Battle of Champions Official, or
Yeah.
GBAC, I think official.
And
No,
where could they go to find this?
You go to
Would they go to
Steam
the Discord?
Workshop. There's a, I believe we may have to update it, but I believe if you're in the Discord for Genesis, there's a TTS channel, and pinned in that channel is the instructions of how to find this. If not, we might have to update those. But basically, you just go into Steam Workshops for Tabletop Simulator, and then you find the workshop, and then you hit subscribe, and then you can load it. And then when you do that, segue, you'll end up with something that looks like this. Except you won't have the faces of two random people pasted on top of it. Oh, we lost Eric. Come back, Eric.
What? I'm here. Oh,
There we go. Okay.
am I gone? Oh,
What's it called? Discord decided that I wasn't looking at you, so then it didn't need to display you, and then it went blank.
oh, so you had to stare at me the entire time just so that I stay on screen.
Yes,
Gotcha.
it's tragic.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So
Rough life.
yeah. So this is, if you don't know, this is a cool little table here, where there are some starter decks, some learn to play, and then also an entire table so that you can build decks. You can see over here. There's the deck builder. So you just put them on the table here, and then it tells you the total chi and the total number of cards. That,
So for those that are bad at math, you don't even have to do math.
Yep. True. True statement. And yeah, I thought that today, or we thought today, that would just take you around here and show you, and then also fix one of my decks. Because
it needs a lot of work.
It does. Because what you see here is not just these 70 cards. We haven't got any duplicates. But this is a deck that I built. Basically, the theme around it is, where'd he go? There's a good boy. Is Cobbled Amalgamate. Which is a sweet card. It's got a big bold version for you to be able to see. Look at that. We talked about him before.
Ooh.
2 health, forward, left, right, awareness, resurrect, beckon. Excuse me, burp. 12 aura, resurrect, beckon. And it's got that swift drain attack 3. The first, I guess, summon with a swift drain attack in Genesis. And it's a doozy, because if it hits once, it goes to 5 health, which is a lovely amount of health. And then the pairing is with Harlequin. So that's a 23 a Phage Chaos champion, so green-purple, who has that Swift Exert Fire Attack 1, 125 aura, forward awareness, no energy, and it's got that Portal beckon ability, which means that you get a free pox spreader from your subconscious every time you resolve a beckon ability. And then where do we find a pox spreader?
You can find it in the giant list of cards.
Yeah, so it's going to be in
Phage. No, go to the Phage.
Yeah.
So you have all the cards. You have every single card that has been officially released. And you can go to the Champions color list, whatever it is. So if you go here and you can search them all up.
Yeah.
Pox.
I think it might have been blocked by your face, but I did in fact just search up Pox Spreader and then put it on the board. So Pox Spreader is a cool little summon. 1 health, 1 attack. You're getting it for free, so it's not crazy strong, but just the fact that you're getting a body for free is pretty freaking strong. And then it's got an action ability to give something decay. Something without decay gates decay forever. So just like Caustic Millipede, we got a guaranteed kill as long as you don't die. But with this deck, the main concept was Cobbled Amalgamate comes down and then says on its first turn, immediately says hi to the Pox Spreader that came alongside with it. It's like, hey, little friend. And Pox Spreader's like, hey, back. And then Cobbled Amalgamate is like, I'm going to eat you. What? and then then your Cobbled Amalgamate is already at 5 health to go in and start attacking people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's the
Because the
concept.
key thing,
Yeah.
right? Like a Carbon Amalgamate doesn't have to, or you never have to only attack your enemies. You can attack your allies.
Yeah.
So you can turn basically any one of your summons at 3 health for Cobbled Amalgamate. And that's kind of like one of the key things, right? Especially when you're getting free summons, you can kind of tuck one of those into the corner and just have it gain health, 3 or +3 to 5, then to 8, then to 11. Like once you get it to 8, it's basically unkillable, and then it just keeps going from there.
And I think even just 5 is enough to be like, you can just throw it in. And like if they're trying to kill it with cards, they're probably burning 2 cards. Or like a card and an attack. So 2 abilities, no matter what, are going to be involved in trying to kill a 5 health one. And
it is, yes, it is a Resbec, and that's definitely true.
Yes.
But you remember you have a Pox Spreader. A Pox Spreader kills itself.
Yep.
And also just things will die in general.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, while I rotated it, because I was doing a little, I guess, theater for our viewers, Cobbled Amalgamate in real life won't need to rotate. It'll just go eat that Pox Spreader, because it can just fire off attacks to the left and right, which is very nice. So like maybe, Harlequin brings back a Cobbled Amalgamate, Pox Spreader walks up, it's like, on its turn is like, hi, and then Cobbled Amalgamate is like, hi, bam.
Yeah. So Jeremy says, Pox Spreader won't always be, and then I can't see, and then it says beside. So, I mean, that's technically true, right? But, you can kind of control that, and then you have stuff like Blood Feast, right? If you look at Blood Feast, you can sacrifice something next to you, so then you summon Pox Spreader next to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a perfect
and then also
plan as well. Yeah.
I guess you can't really do that with Repurpose because you don't have Dark Poppet, but you do have Soulfire Strike. There's ways around it.
Yeah. But yeah, so these are the 17 cards which I first built my deck with. So I guess let's just dive in and take a look at these. And then, yeah, the idea is to do a bit of a deck doctor here, because maybe there's cards I missed. This was kind of a little bit of piles of cards I own as well when I was building this deck. So yeah, let's take a look at what we got, and then we can start trying to, make this into a home plan. And absolutely, Jeremy, the fact that it's a Resurrect Beacon, that does mean that there's some stuff that needs to get done first. So maybe there's some adjustments to be made. Cool.
Yep. All right, so let's look at the deck list that you have, and then we'll build that up, and then we'll, laugh at your math skills when we get there. But
So I guess the first card here is Mitosis. So it's a pretty expensive card. But like 12 ore. But we talked about it before. It's gonna make multiple bodies. So this is just kind of in the same kind of concept of, just trying to get out multiple bodies to be eaten and used as resources. Then because it's a little bit of a combo deck, I also pulled in some recomposition. Just because you really need to be able to find some summons to start with this deck. Because like the core is I'm trying to get a Resurrect Beacon going, which means I need some sort of other Beacon first, which is again, one of the weaknesses as figured out by Jeremy very quickly. But hey, it's there's a fun interaction and we're trying to maximize on this. This maybe isn't going to be a tier deck, but the goal is to find something fun and then try and build the best version of it, is the concept today. Blood Feast. In a couple of games I played against Damien, listening out there. This was great. For like letting me move in with impunity, and then if someone is gonna get bonked on the head, I would just say, haha, I'm gonna eat it. Getting 2 health from a summon, like this is a 3-chi which requires some work to get 2 health. And I guess this deck was built before the existence of the.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Was that? I don't remember what was spoiled and what not spoiled.
Oh,
Don't say anything.
Citizen, the Chaos Citizen.
That's what I was saying. Is that spoiled or not?
Yeah, that is spoiled.
Okay, I literally don't know.
It's all good.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, but the Chaos Citizen, which dies and everyone eats it, or you get 2 health. So maybe that's just a full-on replacement for this.
I think it would be
for mitosis potentially. Oh yeah, look at all this cobbled amalgamates. It's glorious. What else did I pull here? Fontanella, just because it's just a great phage card. Just hangs out at the back. Probably isn't on theme for the concept of the deck, because it's hanging out at the back, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, Eric is moving all these cards while I'm talking about them. It's wild. From the corpse, place yourself in a spot where someone was destroyed this round facing any direction. This one was kind of just like a maybe board, just kind of slip in, and we'll see what will happen. It's a little bit of a teleport as long as something died. We got repurpose here, which is at the end of the turn you may sacrifice an ally summon in your awareness or a skill attached to you. It is a skill itself. If you do, then draw a card. Unfortunately, Harlequin's awareness is just forward, so it's not perfect, but I mean, you're bringing out, like, any turn where you summon a summon, you can put a pox spreader in front of you. Eric disappeared for a moment there. Fun.
That happens a lot, apparently.
Apparently. I don't know what's happening today so much, but we'll make do. Soulfire Strike was just kind of like maybe just throwing a copy or 2. Move Together, just like a solid, well, semi-solid. We kind of talked about how we want better versions of this in our previous stream. But hey, it's a move technique in Phage. There aren't a lot of them, and this one at least works with summon, so I wanted to try it out and work with it. Electrical Storm, because we need some sort of tsunami thing, even if we are a summoner deck, and this is what we have access to in our colors. So 3 electrical damage to everything in the tsunami awareness, or 6 if everything has aerial. Doomblade, because I have a foil one. That's it. That's sweet. So that's an action, heavy dark attack 5. When a champion is dealt damage by Doomblade, that champion shuffles their thoughts into their timeline, draws the number of cards they shuffled into their timeline, then reveal their thoughts and discard a card with the highest chi. Prokaryotic Hounds, because I like the card, and it's pretty solid. You get 2/3/3 bodies. They're gonna die one way or another. There's a little bit of people don't feel like spending too much to deal with them, but I mean, they're there. Burning Abomination as another solid Resurrect Beckon summon. Blood Spear, which is an area attack 3 at 6 chi for 6 energy, which is not horrible. And then when the summon is destroyed by Blood Spear, you gain 1 health. That's because of the way that's worded. It's going to trigger for every summon that gets destroyed by Blood Spear. So just something to note there. Like, you kill 3 summons with this, you're gaining 3 life from 3 independent triggers. And then Pull of the Grave, as this was in the few games I got to play against Damien, or DC Minion, as he's known. This was sweet. Yeah, just sending in summons and then, getting some damage in. A little recklessly, I lose my summon, and then I'm set up for a good Pull of the Grave. And then finally, Malefic Impalement, because it's one of the best chaos interaction techniques, I guess, for lack of it, where it lets you negate an ability from far away. And I think funny little design story, I think the line attack on print, the line attack 5 and 6 were switched accidentally. This is from Origins by HCG. Yeah. So it's supposed to be that the action is the line attack 6 and then the swift is the line attack 5. Because action speed you get more damage, but then the swift speed you get 5 damage, but then you get the negate as well. But I guess things got swept around, so now we get to do 6 damage and
at swift speed. Yeah, wow. Yeah, and so one thing also, Malefic Impalement, because it exerts you, it's actually a pretty good summoner card.
Yeah.
So if you're a summoner in Chaos, it's actually good to have, because once you get summons out, your turn isn't actually very important. so you don't mind, using it up just to stop your opponent from doing something. We're getting that 6 damage off. Yeah. So now if we scroll down a little bit, we can take a look at some numbers.
Oh no! My shame.
Oh
I'm just
no.
gonna make that as
Yeah,
big
we'll
as
take a look at
possible.
your shame.
Just zoom in. Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's disgusting.
So, this is what happens when Shahan does does math on
deck
the
building
fly.
without
Deck
TTS.
building on the fly without TTS at Forbes Games and Hobbies next to Damien and other people who's like, I need to finish making this deck. I think this is right. So we end up 8 chi below. So, I mean, that makes it easy. It means we can just upgrade some cards and it's going to be technically a better deck TM.
Yeah, so I don't know, does anyone have any suggestions? What should we dump? What should we get rid of? What cards are good that we want more of? Do we want more cobbled amalgamates? We could,
or other cards we're missing
take out,
is a good one. Yeah.
Anyone have any ideas?
Let's see, do the math here. What we got? We got 4 mitosis, we got 2 prokaryotic hounds, and 2 burning abominations. That's not a lot of summons. Oh, and we got the 3 fontanellas, right? Right. So
that's right. Yeah.
So even though the fontanellas are off the theme, they're actually pretty solid because you can, just move forward, summon one behind you, or go summon one in the corner, whatever you like, and then you've got a first game plan that's going to give you a pox spreader that you can then use to start setting up your resurrect summon. So while they're not fitting the exact game plan of the deck, I am impressed with them as a good opener to get the churning of biological material, shall we call it, that you need to start getting resurrects going. But
yeah, you bring up a good point. How many summons do we have that don't have resurrect?
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Seems not
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12.
No, those have I guess.
Yes.
I guess technically you don't have to. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, that's
bring up the Hyper-Geo. What's the chance you're gonna be able to take common amalgamate?
Bad. Odds are bad.
So it probably does want Archon of Vengeance, but remember, we didn't come here to we came here to make a good deck, but we had to start from somewhere, right? So
yeah.
You're definitely right. We definitely want some Archon of Vengeances. So maybe we trade out some of these 6 cheese for some Archon of Vengeances.
Yeah.
Right? Let me get that out.
Yeah, let's show off Archon of Vengeance for. Oh, you're going to grab it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Cool. I'll blow that up and then. So Archon of Vengeance. Oh, you moved it while I was looking at it. Gosh, read my mind already, Eric. Archon of Vengeance. Action, 17 aura, beckon, swift, exert, fire attack 4, and then it's a 7 chi. And it's got this sweet, first time an ad is destroyed by an enemy each round, remove all exert tokens from Archon of Vengeance. You may place Archon of Vengeance on the spot that ally was destroyed facing any direction. So you can move on up with something, have kind of and then have your Archons just, summoned at the back waiting, and then when they kill it, all the Archons are like, hey, leave my buddy alone. Oh wait, they're already dead. Well, I'm gonna be here and punch you in the face for murdering my friend. So yeah, we could definitely do some upgrades here. Let's see. I like the 1 copy of Scavenge Parts, I will say. When you're for the eating and churning. But yeah, I mean, we could just
I don't.
We could upgrade some prokaryotic hounds straight up. Let's see.
We could take out. We could take out. Because we have 8 chi to play with. We could take out. All of these cards right here and upgrade them all to Archon of Vengeances.
Wow.
And still have 2 chi left to play with.
All right. Just call me out there. Fine.
Um, yeah. So you see, you can try to. What?
Oh,
Wait,
what's
you
going
don't
on?
just Control C?
I don't just Control C. Does that not hold on, description 7. Description 7. Why is the math
Oh
not
yeah. So there's actually. It turns out I just discovered this. You have to like really squeeze it in there.
Oh, nice, 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 nice. So
It
there's
doesn't. It
the
doesn't
border
like
over here.
count it. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind when you're on here. The border that counts the chi is like ends somewhere around there. Like no, I was playing around with it. Where is it? Right here. Right here. So like you can't. It's right there, right on that line.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. So that's kind of annoying, but something to think about. Um.
Oh, yeah, there it goes. And we're back. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
So my thought process, right, is you know, so one thing I'm thinking about with Harlequin actually is that you actually don't want high cost, summons. You want a lot. You want to be able to fill your hand with summons and summon them a lot because you gain a lot of value out of it, right? So having, why and pro character accounts, I don't know, doesn't seem that that great. So you have these like kind of highish cost summons that bring something out, but don't really, do that much, I guess. So I either want something that's overpowered, like Arcana of Vengeance, or something that's like kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Because you gain a lot of value by playing more summons.
Yeah, and
so
the overpowered part of Arcana of Vengeance is the fact that it has that execute trigger.
Yeah.
Because like looking at the stats, it's kind of like this Arcana of Vengeance is like a 4/5 as opposed to Burning Abominations 5/4 at a 6 chi. So you're like, wait, the stats are roughly equal. This one has more attack.
Yeah.
But
it costs less, kind of, too, as well.
Yes, if you're not getting the Resurrect, Arcana of Vengeance costs a bunch less. So.
Yeah, so now we went up from 10 to 14, right? Summon, or I guess that's right. Is burden.
We just converted.
So we went
we converted 2
or from 12 to 14, right?
Oh sure, 12 to 14. It was 12 to 4. Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that. Either way, so we went up a lot, and then we had these like 1-0s right here, the Blood Spear and Scavenge Parts. Remember, no fun ofs allowed.
I'll say absolutely fun ofs allowed because if you have a full copy card and you want to play it, don't let Eric stop you.
Yeah, don't let me stop you from having fun.
But he is stopping me right now, so I guess be more assertive than Shahan on stream.
Unless assertiveness is forcing you to play Scavenge Parts, then don't be assertive.
Yeah, I gained like 3 health off. Okay, it's a 6G. Well, that's a.
Yeah, it's a 6G.
How much do you want to gain off a 6G? 3, probably 4. Probably 4.
Probably like 7 health. If you're gaining it 1 per turn, and you can only gain it 1 per round.
Yeah.
Then like if this could trigger 2 times per round.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
the fact that it only triggers once per round makes this basically unplayable. Because you have to think about it, right? Because that 3 chi that gains you 2 health is that means you had to play this out, sacrifice 2 things over the course of 2 rounds just to get the same value as a 3 chi, and this is a 6 chi.
Yeah, and as a top deck, it's horrendous, which is kind of like the reason to play it as a one-of. But I think the Eric's point of you're gaining 1 health per round is a great critique, because it does kind of put in perspective that like the absolute maximum limit of this. I guess this one should maybe be on our list of cards that need a bit more help. Well, if you're out there, Scavenge Parts, it's too fair right now. We need Scavenge Parts version 2.0, which is unfair and gains more health. Maybe it's once per turn or something.
So we just made this deck infinitely better, and we're still 2 chi short, so we have a lot of ways to go.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. So what about Lulu? Maybe wrong chi slot. I guess we'll probably get to that at some point. I don't know if we'll put Lulu in, but we can definitely talk about it. I think let's get to 250, and then we'll see if we can fit Lulu in there.
Yeah.
Um,
So Eric, how do you want to handle like I'm clearly blanking on their number. Is it Heartworn Citizen or something? I guess we should, because obviously, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but because for obvious reasons, because Metamorphosis isn't out yet, Metamorphosis cards aren't here, so we can't really build with a new Heartworn Citizen. Card,
we
the
can't.
Chaos Citizen.
We'll leave Blood Feast for now, and we'll just treat it as that card.
Sure. All right. So we're gonna
It's the
pretend
same
this is
thing.
our citizen. So actually,
Yeah,
so
do you
that's
have-
4 more copies of summons, which is pretty sweet.
Do you have like a picture of that card? Because they still haven't updated the website, right? With all the
Right. I don't think
revealed
I
cards.
have one in like,
that's fine. That's
file
yeah.
folder.
So Damien brings up a great point that I'm still mad about. What about that Pile of Bones card? I don't remember the name. The card that creates a skeleton and kills it. I know it doesn't work. John will tell you why,
Yes.
but it doesn't work, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
So let me just bring it up. It was a corpse pile.
I think so,
heap,
right?
Corpse heap. There
Corpse
we go.
heap.
Almost got there. So let me make that all big for people to see. So corpse heap is an alteration. So because it's an alteration, this will work for Resurrect Beckons. This will work for I guess something dying in the round.
Mm-hmm.
For I guess my scavenge parts, the summon is destroyed around you. Because yeah, what it essentially does is it brings a skeleton warrior from your subconscious and then immediately destroys it. It's designed to give you a portal for putting Resurrect Beacons, but it's not putting summons in your graveyard, for example.
And why is that?
Because it's an alteration. It's not your ally. If this was like a summon that did this, then the summon would be dumping like subconscious copies of skeleton warriors into your memories. But because it's an alteration, it's not your ally, so it's just kind of doing its own thing.
Yeah, this is a third party. It creates like third party skeleton warriors that die, so they're not your skeleton warriors. They're no one's skeleton warriors.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, it does work for
so like
Resurrect
when
stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, it could trigger resurrect things, but it doesn't like count as like your own summons, so you can't really use it for anything.
So like Archon of Vengeance,
Cool.
You can't put a corpse heap in the middle of the enemy, encampment, and then have Archon of Vengeances just pop out in the beginning of each round, because it's not an ally, because it's just like a pile of dead bodies.
Yeah, although Archon of Vengeance specifically says killed by an enemy, right? But
also
even
killed by enemy. Yeah.
But like even so, right? If it did say that, it still wouldn't work.
Yeah, if
so
it was
it's
just
a
the
shame.
first time an ally is destroyed, it still wouldn't work.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to get Corpse Heap to create allied skeleton warriors, but no such luck. The rules team keeps shutting me down.
All right.
Anyway.
I think we cut the mitosis, right? For more of our Heartworn cultists. Is it cultist? Yeah. Oh, it might be cultist. Heartworn cultist.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because that is a sweet card. So yeah, please, Ezra Vexel, release Metamorphosis for this deck. Also, other cards.
So, yeah, wait, hold on. So we do have 2 chi, so I was actually going to take out that Lulu. So maybe we'll look at Lulu.
Sure. Wherever you got it.
So Lulu, it's a weird card.
It is a weird card. It's an I guess it's an interesting card because it's a 3 attack, swift attack as well, 3 health summon, for 10 aura, which is kind of reasonable at 4 chi. And then when it enters the arena, any champion or summon may pay 3 health. If they do, destroy would be the new word. Lulu, Cork, Whore. Core. Um, so it's interesting because if an enemy champion is paying 3 health, then this is a 4 chi that does 3 damage, which we like, right? Well, our 4 chis do 2 damage, so this is 50% rate. But if a summon is paying 3 health, like an enemy summon, obviously, and hopefully you're not using your own summons to kill your own dude, but I mean, you do you. Then we don't like it because it's just like it just traded for 3 health on a summon. So interesting card here. I'm not opposed to it though.
It is kind of interesting. And then if they do pay for it, it dies, and that triggers your resurrect back, and it's a summon, so it which we want, just for Harlequin's ability. Yeah. And so Jolari and Tiger said, what about Blood Whip? Blood Whip is an interesting one.
Yeah, so we got while a summon has been destroyed, Blood Whips at range attack 0 becomes range attack 3 this round. So that's so like this, it's checking each round for whether a summon has been destroyed. And then it's a 4 chi 3 damage.
This could work with the corpses.
Yeah, this would work with the corpses, absolutely.
I mean, this is a pretty interesting card. I think it also might be decent with what's her face, Kasha. And so, but the thing is, so this is Sean Tech, so you can build however you want. So my idea is for Harlequin is that you want to have like your 3, 4, 5 chis be your summons because you want to have a lot of them, and then you want your 6, 7, 8s be powerful kind of swing cards, right? Like your your Electrical Storm, I guess Archon of Vengeance, or Malefic Impalement or something like that. Even Doomblade is actually not bad, because you want to be able to play more summons, Pull to the Grave, also a good card. So the 4 chi, I would actually prefer to have a summon than a interactive card, and have my interactive cards like higher chi, so that they can kind of do more. I think Archon is the exception. Yeah, exactly, right? Like Archon is just so good. So you kind of just play it. But in general, if Archon wasn't as good, you could have more Doomblades, you could have more Impalements, more Pull of the Graves. Pull of the Graves is great. Pull of the Graves is kind of a pretty bonkers card, in fact. I could see adding a couple more. So I would say you're not wrong with wanting to put Blood Whip in the deck. I just, just thinking out loud, I guess.
Yeah.
But we might come back to that at some point.
Yeah.
But let's assume that now we're like this, right? Because now we're at 250 chi and 50 cards, right?
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
We've taken out a bunch of cards.
Yeah. Let's see. Questionable play still. So Soulfire Strike, I kind of put in the first copy, but I think this deck isn't really ever going to get to large numbers of summons. That's not really what we're doing. We're kind of using our summons as a resource and churning through them. So I think it makes sense to remove these.
I'd agree.
And then I know, probably Called Shot. I mean, that's a 5 chi. You can go straight in. Race ya to find it. I guess. There we go. Found it. I win.
Congrats.
So yeah, Called Shot. For better, for worse, just a really solid card at 5 chi. So that seems a safe include here. Maybe we put from the corpse. Okay, it's 4 chi. I don't think we want the teleport thing. This was a fun for me to try out, and then after playing it, doesn't really fit with the game plan.
Right, because you're not. From the corpse feels more like a fighter thing than a summoner thing.
Yeah, so let me just do that, and then I can move.
Something dies, you want to get away from that area, right? not towards it.
Pretty much. And especially since you're not putting corpse heaps around as like get out of jail like locations. Like I think from the corpse, yeah, it doesn't make sense with this deck. So now we're back down to we can put another 4-chi in. So is there like do we want to do another Fontanella, another Lulu? And also, are there better things to do at 5-chi than move together? Is another question.
Yeah, like literally anything else, right? Like move
like,
together was on our list of like cards that we wish were better.
Yeah.
And it just does not work, right? Like sidestep.
Yeah, I was gonna mention sidestep exactly. So maybe we just swap these out for sidesteps. Bam, sidestep. Okay. And then we got one more 4-chi we can put back in. So we just say one more Lulu?
Yeah, and also, yeah, you're right. Her health is a little bit lowish. It's, pretty medium, actually. But we do need some energy spenders, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, we are low on energy spenders here. Especially since the Blood Feasts are, what's it called? Heartworn cultists.
Oh, yeah, they're soup. That's right.
Oh yeah. This
eating your friends gives you more energy than soup, just so you know, or gives you more health than soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. For anyone curious.
This is what chaotic soup looks like.
Yeah, if you're sick, you know what to do now, I guess.
Wait, okay, I assumed this was like the leg of an insect, but now I'm looking at the art. Is that a shoulder in the top left? Is that like a zombie? Is Harlequin eating a zombie?
I think it's still a leg, right?
Can you think of leg? I'm wondering. It does kind of look like a shoulder to me. Like you can see just a bit of the neck. I mean, at the top left. I don't know. Maybe it's behind.
I don't know. It could be a leg of an insect. Even that. There's just the underbelly of it.
Yeah, but is it? I don't know. Does that look like carapace? Chat. Does that look like carapace to you, or does that look like skin? I think it looks more like skin the more I look at it, not carapace. No, not chitin.
Yeah.
I guess.
Anyway.
Knows.
Yeah, we have some decent energy things. So this is something we can use the turns counter that I made to see how much energy we need. Because looking at it, your original deck list had a 15 energy turns counter and an 8 aura turns counter.
Yeah.
So, didn't have enough energy spenders.
And also the aura cost was too low. I would say 8 is on the threshold of being too long for the number of turns.
I would say I think 8 is probably fine for Harlequin.
I think I'd be happier at sound 7, but yeah.
Well, I think because you have repurpose, 8 is a little misleading. Right?
Oh, true. Yeah, card draw affecting once again. Yeah, good point.
I would like to have maybe another repurpose or two, right? A little bit of extra card draw.
Yeah, so that is a 5-chi. So where are we gonna pull that from?
Yeah, we take out these Lulus and add some more cultists.
Who recommended the Lulus? They're gonna feel bad now. They got in just to get removed. What are we doing, Eric? Here, 244 and 50-chi.
So the Fontanellas. So the thing about the Fontanellas is they are pretty expensive on aura.
True.
But they are kind of interesting, right? Because you put them behind you, and then you can summon your army to kind of defend them, which is an interesting strat.
I do like them.
I would say
a single card that gives you like a different tactical line is I'm happy with, and it's gonna give you a pox spreader for your main methodology. So I am happy about that.
Yeah. So we can go down these recomps. Because remember, we don't have that much
Yes.
health. We're
Well,
not.
actually, the recomps were there because I was having trouble pulling off my main combo, but now we have way more summons here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you didn't have any summons.
Gosh, how many
Alright,
Heartworn
so now we have
Saltlets are you gonna have to make me try and get as soon as Metamorphosis comes out? Jeez, Eric.
all of them. Yeah, send Sean your Heartworn cultist.
Send the Chrono Workers your cards. The poor Chrono Workers. Okay.
Yeah, so this deck is already looking like way better because we're so a lot of what you might do and a lot of what we kind of do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Tiger. That it is pretty heavy on the aura.
Very much so.
And so this is definitely something that we would have to run the turns counter on to see before we really do it. But I think so I think we can actually hold it right there, right? Because like this is like a decent set. And so it also kind of brings up something I want to kind of emphasize is you're not going to sit down and build a good deck your first time building it. This is, I think it's obvious. I think most people know it, but it's something to kind of internalize and just kind of like refresh your mind every time you build a deck, right? Because like you could sit down, put together some cool cards. Like we started with 17 individual cards. Now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we cut down on the total. Like individual cards or unique cards. We increased the good cards, amount of good cards. I kind of lost my train of thought for a second.
No, it's okay. We honed in on trying to find what the main game plan is and find the cards that that work with the game plan and remove the cards that don't work with the game plan. With the caveat of being our Fontanellas, single cards that give us like a side game plan, which can still make it. This looks remarkably exactly like what it looks like when Eric and I do build decks together. It's like we literally pull out a pile. It's not 17 is way too low. We will pull out every card that like has a 20% chance of making the deck. And then discuss them and prune them off until we get to the cards that we're like, this is the game plan we want. These are the cards that are funneling into the same game plan. And then start duplicating, and then we'll get something that looks like this.
Yep. And then we will play games.
What?
And I know, it's crazy. And then adjust these numbers, right? Because like how do we know that we want this many repurposes or this many archons or this many, whatever? And the answer is we don't know.
Yeah.
So we want to tune it, right? Like we might run some hyper geos, we might run the turn counter calculator, get a sense of it, but we haven't done that for this, so we'd have to run a turn counter. If this shows up like a 4 aura turns or something like that, we're like, oops, if it shows up like 20 energy turns, then we're like, all right, well now we need to add some more energy. And just to keep in mind, like we expect games to go between like 5 to 10 turns, I would say, usually around like 6 to 7. So you want your turns to kind of be within that range, generally speaking. And turns just means like how many cards you can play before you run out of that resource. So the idea now is we hone it down, and then we don't know if this is right. So again, we play the games, we keep tuning it, and then once you feel good about the main deck after you've tuned it and played it, then you got to make your sideboard, your forethoughts, right? And I would say, one thing about that championship that I went to, the 2 weeks before it, we ran the tournament, right? That was a really fun event. Hopefully, we can do that again soon.
Yes.
Where we did a kind of a Sweet 16, right? Of all the best decks in Genesis. We had a lot of people on. We had people commenting. We had like cool, like good players playing. To try to find the best deck and see what would happen.
We
which
saw
meant
Alta
that
going really far, which we were.
Alta did pretty well. Who won again? Was it Satir? I think Satir might have won.
Yes, I think that sounds right. Yes.
And then what happened is Thursday comes around. I'm leaving Friday, and I'm like, I need to test my deck. So we spend
The
a couple hours
sacrifices.
that Thursday testing my deck, and I think the main deck was fine, but I definitely think could have been a couple numbers tweaking, but the forethoughts were kind of a mess. I definitely felt that when I was like putting cards together, because I didn't really do a lot of tuning for that. And that's kind of the struggle, right? Like it takes a lot of time to kind of put all these things together. A long-winded way of saying that it takes some time to get everything right, and don't feel bad or worried or anything like that if something's not working perfectly well. It could just be you change one card, and by one card it could be like 6 cards, right? Like what we did at the very start, where we took out a bunch of cards and then we added one card of Archon Inventions and made the deck a lot better. It could just be like one change, or maybe a card gets released, right? Like this deck right now is kind of meh, but once we turn those Blood Feasts into Cultists, like this deck is going to go way better, right? Because now we have, how many is that? 10? Yeah, we're going to have 10 more 7s in the deck, right? And that's going to be huge, because think about it, you get 6 aura for 2 summons. That's crazy. Yeah, sure, they're 1/1s, but like one of them might give decay, one of them is going to give you 2 health. They gum up the board. They help trigger your Archons, blah blah blah. So it could just be anything, and I think this is kind of the strategy and the technique we've kind of been working on, right? Yeah. So I guess to rehash, step 1 is bring out the champion you want to build around, and every card that might possibly go to it.
Yeah.
Step 2 is kind of organize them by chi, and then preferably talk with somebody. It's actually really difficult to make decks by myself. I'm like, Sean, I'm trying to build this deck, but it's bad. Get over here. And we'll talk about it, talk it through, because different people see different things, have different lines of focus, and it's really important to see that different play styles and thought processes, right?
Yeah, I think a big one is like, what are the situations your deck is trying to create, and do these cards either help you build toward that situation or capitalize on that situation? So that is like kind of like maybe a synergy here between like our Heartworn Cultists, which are letting us have a death trigger so we can get our Resurrect Beckons out with the Cobbled Amalgamates, and then also start generating those Pox Spreaders for eating with Repurpose, and also gaining some health for Harlequin, like getting Harlequin to 28, 30 plus health with some Heartworn Cultists is going to be so sick for this deck. And then that leading into Archons of Vengeance. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't need to rehash, I guess, the entire deck again.
Yeah, so Will kind of brings up something. Is it worth to play Pain Imp? Get the free Pox to drain the Pain Imp. So that's actually a great question, right? Because Pain Imp does cost 1 life instead of aura. 1 life is not free, I would say. Especially if you don't have a lot of it. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, life in Genesis does feel more impactful than it is in a lot of other card games I've played.
Yeah. I think if I was building this deck right now, before Metamorphosis comes out, I'd have some split of Pain Imps and I guess, is it Fire Fiend? Or what is the chaos? Just like Inferno Ghoul? Is that
Inferno Ghoul.
Yeah, just like this, like a 3G tiny summon. Heartworn Cultists, we really want Heartworn Cultists for this deck. Like, holy cow. Yeah. Like, your summon, like, dying and giving you
it's so good.
Setting up. Like, it does everything this deck wants. But, stupid release date, come closer, wherever you are.
Release date? What release date?
I know, we don't even have one. But, I mean, theoretically it exists. Heisenberg's release date.
So then also you would have to check aura turns, right? So maybe this deck, the aura turns are too low, and so all right, I'll cut a couple of the Heartworn Cultists because I'm getting too much health. Oh, I've got too much health. Oh no, this is awful. Because remember, if you win the game with more than 1 health, you're wasting resources, right?
True.
So say some games you're actually running out of aura, but you have like 35 health, right? So yeah, so then you're like, all right, so let's cut 3 or 4, cultists, put in the pain imps, right? And then that's also kind of nice. Pain imps also provide a little bit more offense because they have the 2 damage attack. So yeah, something like that, and that again requires a little testing. And then I guess one last thing to bring up is that this is kind of just built in a vacuum, right? Like we have like, I want to build a deck with X game plan, and so we kind of, how do we maximize that? But next thing you would do is try to plan for the metagame, and this is why deck building without a metagame is kind of fun. But I think deck building within a metagame I enjoy a lot more, because there's a lot. I feel like it's not just, I'm gonna build my own sandcastle and I'll do all these things. It's now I've got to think about, all this interaction and stuff like that. Like,
what, I have to worry about the fun police? You find that a good time? I don't know you, Eric. I don't know.
Yeah, so if you're seeing a lot of Idrises, put some more life gain in your deck. If you're seeing I'm trying to think of something else. A lot of angels. Yeah. Maybe put some puppet mastery in the sideboard, right?
Or seeing, if you're seeing like bolt walkers, put more chrono walkers in your deck.
Yeah.
Seeing lots of bolt of lightning.
Yeah. What else? What are some of the popular decks, right? Like, anyway, stuff like that. But that's kind of the basic idea.
Yeah. And yeah, well, one thing I want to highlight, I mean, Eric's kind of mentioned it, but something I learned, Eric is spread again, bring him back, perfect, there we go. Something I kind of learned, like, honestly, by watching, for Magic, but watching other content creators and pros as their deck building is, in spoiler season, we all like to be like, oh, this is playable, oh, this isn't playable, like, oh, the stats in this are horrible, this could never see play, and talk like that and think like that. But I think the average player has no idea of the depths that professional players will go to in terms of testing cards, and like how far they will go to just check that every single card is in fact not playable, that every single deck concept is not in fact playable for whatever Pro Tour is coming out, because it's just like the if you find something that no one else has thought of, it's worth so much, and or if you correctly identify like a metagame hole, which like the German team did for nationals.
Yeah. Good. I was about to mention that too, but yeah, that's a 100% accurate point.
Yeah. So like, I think that the biggest discrepancy, I think, is like, like when you're not in the actual professional metagame, you're far more likely to dismiss cards and not test them than you are if you're actually playing professionally. So don't be afraid to have your janky idea and try and build the best version of it and actually test it, because you're actually doing stuff that professional players do all the time. So you're right there in the midst of it.
Yeah, but also key thing is that they're actually professional. That is to say, they make their money doing it. So
yes.
if you have a regular job, don't worry about getting to that level of depth.
Because when you're testing decks against each other, the amount of games you need to play in order to have a good grasp, not final data, good grasp of how a matchup goes, is 30 games, right? And that's one deck versus one deck. So so kind of extrapolate, like that's why testing teams are so great. Like, like the more people can get in, you can get those end values up and really understand what's going on when cards interact with each other, because a single game is not enough by any means to know even what your deck is doing. Cool. Well, that's 8:00 on the dot. Look at us go.
Wow.
But yeah, that's welcome to how Chrono Walkers build decks. We start with a pile of cards and then end up with another pile of cards, but hopefully the second pile of cards is better.
I wonder, I wonder how other people build decks. I don't even know, but this is, our strategy. And if anyone has a champion they want to build around, or decks, say you have a deck, if you let us know, we could try to do something like this on stream at some point as well.
Yeah.
We're always down to help build decks. Chances are I'll tell you to put some more call shots in it, but we'll try to make some other actually interesting ideas
Yeah,
as
this
well.
deck does not have enough call shots. Yeah. Yeah.
No. But yeah, so that's basically it. And you can get it Tabletop Simulator, or TTS as people like to call it. You can get this mod on it and play as many games as you want and build whatever decks you want. It's great.
Yeah, maybe even play against us. Who knows? Maybe that's a future stream. Dun dun dun. Plans. All right, but with that, I guess we'll say thank you for viewing. We hope you enjoyed this. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they didn't think of that card when they were building. Like, it was right there and they didn't think of it.
Yeah. I know,
with that, ta-ta for now. I'll wave with both hands.
We'll see you. We'll see you in the arena.
Bye-bye.
Bye.